Full disclosure, news and commentary number 43, 43, 43, 43, 43. Yeah! Royal Rumble last night was fucking awesome, was it not? And Royal Rumble is the inspiration for our commentary tonight on the power of wrestling when it unifies us, and the danger when we look for that unification in an artificial and not organic way. Yeah. Full disclosure 43. Thanks, Brett and Brian and Dan and Derek and Diana and Jeffrey and Josh and Larry, not that one, the other one. Logan, Rob Rod, Southern Honor, Double Dropkick, and Myron. And a special thanks to those at the $25 level or above that are helping to contribute to the Goodman Awards, the actual physical awards that the 2020 winners are going to get in the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. And Larry's going to get, first of all, for winning Legend for 2019. That would be Viral Pro Wrestling Transcendent, the tag team, and Eric, of course. Special thanks to them. I do appreciate the fact that Viral's got the stones to think we're going to win awards, so we want to contribute to buying them. Makes me wonder if anybody else is going to join them. Yay! Just put out a Patreon video in all the side hustle ways that women in wrestling at the independent level make money and where the future of that is likely going to go. Whew! Exciting times, exciting times. I've got boiling water here for a reason, because it's going to be part of a new segment I'm going to try out tonight. What is playing on my television? Look, I'm hitting all the beats, Elena. I'm hitting all the beats. What is playing is Raw, which is incredibly unusual. I have not watched Raw in a serious way in a long time, but last night's Royal Rumble got me excited about wrestling, so I wanted to watch to see where they were going with stuff. And now it's just been this tag team match forever and a fucking day. Kevin Owens is currently wrestling. And I saw Kevin Owens wrestle El Generico in New York. In that ridiculous, crazy, funky ladder match. Or it wasn't a ladder match. It was just like all fucking ladders used in a fucking million different ways. It was absolutely bonkers. The package pile driver threw one ladder from high above and blah, blah, blah. And I remember distinctly I was backstage at that Ring of Honor show and seeing Kevin Owens just in a fucking heap, just sitting there. He wasn't Kevin Owens then, but you get the point. Just there, crumpled up in a corner, just fucking absolutely exhausted and wasted, which got me thinking about when Davey Richards at one point did not want to lose the title to Kevin Owens because he said he just didn't earn it. He was Kevin Steen then, and there are various reasons why Davey Richards didn't think he was the right guy. Turns out he ended up being the right guy. Yeah. Sorry, I get sidetracked. That's what the fuck I do. Yeah. Oh shit, we gotta unbox. I got 3 of these fucking things, motherfucker. So I'm just gonna juggle them. Juggling this one. I'll open the other ones later. Excited. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What is this shit? I'm wearing one of my fucking favorite shirts from 2019, by the way. Best Dad in the Universe. I was wearing this out and about, and a guy actually stopped me to go, that shirt's amazing. It's when I was getting the invitations done for my party at my house. The Blood In, Blood Out birthday party. I'm turning 48 on February 9th. And so on February 8th, which is a Saturday, I'm having a shindig at my house. A bunch of people are going to come by. You are welcome. You who are watching this are welcome to come to my joint and fucking hang out. Oh, we got a note with this bitch. Aww. They wanted to send me the shirt because they said they'll always think of watching Van Damme movies with me. So it's a friend of mine from fucking Hawaii who you would not know, which gets me thinking about my fucking high school reunion, which is awesome. And the people from my fucking high school are sending me shit. What is this? And can this... Oh, come the fuck on. Backstory. Um... When this scene happened in this movie, it's now a meme thing. Van Dancing with the Stars. When this fucking dancing shit comes up in fucking was it Kickboxer? It's Kickboxer. Yeah, Kickboxer. See, I know my fucking Van Damme shit. In Kickboxer, when he does this like fucking drunken dancing shit, me and my friends used to bust that fucking move out all the time, and now it's become a meme. And now one of those friends, thank you very much, hopefully who will be at the high school reunion with me, sent me this shirt. Dope as fuck. Putting it on. Yeah, fucking. That's how he knew he was fucking gay. He whipped somebody's ass while he's dancing and drunk. Van Damme. Jean Claude, that is. Let's get to it. That's how we do it. TWE in Chattanooga drew 150, which is apparently a packed house in the venue we were in. Scott Hensley wrote a report. It was fucking really good, actually. I'm always glad when Scott Hensley writes some shit. It's not a fucking joke as no at all, because Lariato getting a report in and a picture of their crowd, nicely done, and they drew 300, their biggest crowd to date. Holy fucking shit. Somebody pointed out recently that sort of luchador show that happens once in a while, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, fuck me, that we should start reporting them. They should start sending in their results, because that's a show that's definitely worth noting, because they outdraw everybody on a show-by-show basis, do they not? How often do they run shows? That's probably an important question. APW 85. Fuck. I need to write something here to make sure that I do it. Pro South sounded like a great show. Pro South, more importantly, rant number one. Pro South has done something very impressive, which is Larry watches every one of their fucking shows. Now, the shows in the past that have gotten Larry's attention were usually not Georgia shows, and Pro South definitely isn't either. It's in Alabama. But if you can get Larry to watch your show on the regular and constantly report on it, as promotions in Tennessee have in the past and things like that, you're doing something really fucking good. By the way, the challenge that I threw out to commentators of people to get their shows out there so we could listen to the commentators to decide if we're going to have commentator of the year in addition to announcer of the year. So far, I don't see a lot of action in that regard, which tells me that people do commentators fucking matter. If they do, fucking get them out there. That's rant 1B. But the rant I'm talking about is... What the fuck was I talking about? God damn, I'm getting fucking old. Holy shit. Fucking lost my train of thought. Ain't that a goddamn shame. So let's get to my other fucking rant. Since I lost my train of thought, we're going to get to the other rant I was going to do. What was the other fucking rant? The other rant was, God damn it, somebody pointed out to me, should the NWA be considered a Georgia promotion? Since they do all their tapings here. Maybe. I'd be hard pressed to argue that they shouldn't be. And if they are a Georgia promotion, who's to say they should not only not be in the top 10, are they number one? wide range of coverage. By the way, congratulations to Southern Honor for their debut on the whatever the fuck television internet thing. And people are watching that shit. They were told that they should only expect a certain amount of people and a certain amount of hours totaled watched, and they blew that number out of the fucking water. And I took a look at that shit, and it looks way better than everybody else's. Looks better than Action. It just looks better than everybody else's. So now Southern Honor, be careful of what you wish for and be careful of what you say, because the taunt was always, but Southern Honor's reach is so limited and they're not really putting the boys in a position. They're doing more to make the boys look fucking good and get jobs elsewhere than anybody else is right now, right? Outside of the NWA. If the NWA is considered a Georgia promotion, and I have to admit I'm compelled by the argument, even if it came from a source that I would just as soon fucking piss on. Um, the initial argument, that is that Southern Honor's competition? Because production-wise, nobody's fucking close. Maybe viral, but again, the 8 shows a year thing. Am I making too much out of the 8 shows a year, taking you out of contention for promotion of the year? Fucking comment below if you're feeling it. I read all those fucking comments, by the way, on the 20 plat opinions about Tessa Blanchard. And very interesting, compelling arguments. If you want to fucking argue with me, that's the place to do it, is in the fucking comments. So if I was to redo, and again, I'm going to redo that who's the top 10 promotions in Georgia right around WrestleMania. Lots of shit's happening around WrestleMania. And this Royal Rumble's got me excited because now I feel like it deserves a whole bunch of shit to happen right around WrestleMania. And it looks like I'm going to go to a bunch of fucking shows in Tampa the week of WrestleMania. God damn it. But I'm fucking happy about that. So if NWA is a Georgia promotion, they are the competition to Southern Honor now. Is anybody else even close? Is Southern Fried really close? I know they keep saying they are, but are they really? Doesn't feel that way. Action, perhaps. But again, if you put up the production of those two shows against each other, there is no fucking comparison. I mean, and I'm not just knocking the fact that it's a hard cam with one roaming. ECW showed you can get a lot of mileage out of that with great editing and great cameramen. I don't think anybody's got it. I think the only people who have that level of production in displaying their shows and making the boys look as good as they possibly can is Southern Honor by a long fucking shot. And if that forces everybody else to up their production or at least get far more creative with what they're doing, all the better. End of that rant that derived from another rant, which derived of another rant. This reminds me, what are the shows coming up that I'm doing, that I've got in the hopper, as you will? Pro Wrestler's Handbook, because I thought of something that I think is a brand new concept for professional wrestling and how wrestlers can use the rest of the card to really set up the story of their match, both in terms of the moves that you do and the story that you tell. It's risky, but instead of always just putting out nuts and bolts shit, I'm constantly thinking about how to change wrestling. I'm constantly thinking about how to improve myself as well. Not bad for just a fan. Reaction to Jeff's last chapter of the Underage Chronicles that got put out. I've had to not look at that fucking thing because I need to put out that reaction video. And it's fucking killing me because I heard it's fucking amazing. And it's the best one yet, people are saying. How is that fucking possible? I can't wait to fucking read it. Be Kind review still on the way about Drew Blood and a couple of podcasts I'm going to look at. And a P list I want to do. What is this P list about? Who could be up for Legends 2020? Yes, I'm already going to fucking tackle it because that's what the fuck I do. A couple of Patreon videos I have planned. One, I want to talk about the whole Brawl experience and my tie-ins to Atlanta theater and fight choreography and how that all related. And then I'm going to have another Patreon video on how PCW helped bring fucking and sex back to fucking Georgia wrestling. Sound good? Yeah. Then get over to my Patreon, dickheads. Link is below. What else am I talking about? A quick update on the story which got a lot of attention about the JC motherfucker fucking around with the young girl and all that shit. Clarifications. Though some would have you believe that I was way off base and I had no idea what I'm talking about and I didn't really have sources. Okay, I didn't really have sources. Sure. Notice that nobody has messaged me fucking saying I was wrong. Publicly, people started try to deflect. Oh, he thinks he's got sources. He's nothing. He's just a fan. Blah, 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 blah. Funny, because I continue to get information. 3 people have said, how the fuck could you have known all of that? It's right on the money. But I tended to believe the people that were like, yes, for the most part, you were on track, but here's a couple corrections. So I want to put those corrections in right now. I was going to do a separate video about that, but I knew full disclosure is the one that just about everybody listens to, so I wanted to put it in here. Apparently, they were never boyfriend and girlfriend. That's something they wanted to make crystal clear. And then she was 16 when he first started getting very aggressive with her in the locker room to the point where people were like, what the fuck, dude, and noted it. Though nobody really did anything about it, I imagine in the future, the next time this kind of thing comes up in general, people are going to be more inclined to act. That's why it's important to reveal these kind of stories, right? And her parents didn't want her to wrestle. She insisted, apparently. Cool. All right. It's time for a new little segment we're going to try out here. Nice, right? What's happening on Raw right now? Oh, some dickheads I don't really know are wrestling each other. The Japanese tea ceremony. It's one of these really precise, really cool things. It could take hours. Obviously, I'm not going to take hours here. One of my favorite things about going to the University of Hawaii, where I got my undergraduate and master's degree. Yes, people saying that I'm faking my credentials or some shit. What the fuck? I just like the way the Japanese do tea. I think it's kind of cool. Let's sip some motherfucking tea, folks. Woo! Strong, but it's good. Fire it up. What are we fucking sipping the tea about today? Stranglehold! Everybody's fucking favorite. Stranglehold's fucking favorite. I saw a post where Eric Nelson said, we had a great show and it was widely attended. Is he full of shit, Magic 8 Ball? Most likely. Yes, most likely. Make that definitely. Sources tell me that they drew south of 25. Let me repeat that, less than 25. Factor in comps. How many people paid to go to that show? Less than 20? Less than 15? Less than 10? Most of the workers on that show were described as working from the wrong side. more often than not. And even the Stranglehold champion, who apparently has gone from face to heel and whatever the fuck, um, worked off of the wrong side more than once, got up in the wrong direction. And there might be pro wrestlers listening to this and was like, is there a certain direction I'm supposed to get up and turn? Yes! So, Stranglehold. Keep in mind, AWN, which ran in that building all the fucking time, never had a crowd that fucking small, even at their worst. And they ran shows far more frequently. Stranglehold's only running once in a blue fucking moon. And they're drawing less than 20 fucking 5. And most of their workers don't know how to work. Is it because they're running a training facility out of there where all of them are learning to work incorrectly? If somebody wants to dispute anything I'm saying, please fucking feel free, but you can't, can you? Let me finish off this motherfucking tea. Holy shit, Stranglehold. But they're going to be part of MomoCon. So let's see how that goes. AWE, when the story is told about AWE and them making a comeback, I think a lot of it's going to be about that show they did at that con where they got to have a nice big crowd and they really impressed and it should go great. Well, maybe Stranglehold at MomoCon is going to go fucking great. No, it's not. Here's another prediction, since every prediction I've ever made about Stranglehold came fucking true. That show at MomoCon is going to be an absolute clusterfuck unless they bring in so much talent that isn't their homegrown talent so they can try to fool MomoCon into thinking this is what Stranglehold Wrestling is. If they don't do that, they're fucked. And their shit's going to be lame and it's going to be one and fucking done. As well it should be. Fuck, I'm feeling motherfucking good and shit. I'm feeling motherfucking great and shit. How motherfucking great? We're just about to get into the commentary, by the way. How fucking great am I feeling? I'm gonna fucking open up another fucking shirt. Double unboxing. Because I'm feeling fucking so good. Which one should I do? Which one should I do? Magic 8 Ball, let's ask you. Magic 8 Ball, should I open the white package? White package! White package! Signs point to yes. Good enough for me. Sorry, gray package. We'll open you up some other time. Double unboxing, because I'm getting so much fucking shit in the mail. Thank you for that, everybody, by the way. That's just a packing slip. This is also... Oh, gotcha. The fuck is this shit? Aww. Baby Bam. Baby Bam. Fucking baby Nightcrawler. It's supposed to be like... Oh, is it because I always talk about the movie Nightcrawler and this is like a little thing and Baby Yoda because I got that Mandalorian shit and all that? That's cool as fuck. I'm gonna put this shit on over my fucking Van Damme shirt. Now I got Baby Bam. Fuck, I'm feeling good tonight, folks. And the reason is commentary time. Royal Rumble was fucking great. I didn't watch the rest of the card, but I watched the Royal Rumble. And hot damn was it good. And my fucking kids watched it with me and they were blown away. I mean, Elena loved it. She loved everything about it. And it was cool to see because her falling out of love with going to live wrestling shows meant I wasn't going to live wrestling shows anymore. And to see her get excited about something was really cool. But yeah, Royal Rumble worked. And a couple of people pointed out online that it was nice that for once the wrestling world, meaning wrestling people in Georgia and their ilk and fans, seemed to be unified behind this was a fucking good Royal Rumble. Of course, there were the naysayers who don't like fucking anything, and you know, They would turn down a fucking hand job from fucking Trish Stratus. I mean, there are always those people out there, right? But for the most part, it was pretty much an undeniable success. Why? Right? Analyzing why is important. Of course, the Edge return, fantastic. The way they used Brock Lesnar, tremendous. The way that they made somebody and put him over and really set the stage for WrestleMania about so many different things. It was really great. But it just comes down to one thing: emotional appeal. And they took the weaknesses of the Royal Rumble structure that have become sort of rote and pat, and they found ways to eliminate it, which is normally like, oh, like the first 30 minutes doesn't really matter. And they made them matter by having Brock Lesnar do what he did. And it just worked, right? But it all stemmed from the emotional appeals and the emotional involvement from the crowd. And, but even more than the emotional appeal, and this is what the commentary is really about, it's about establishing a common experience. And with the loss of kayfabe and the loss of face and heel dynamics being clear cut, what we've really lost, and I don't hear people talk about this very much, what's really tragic about the loss of the face and the heel is we're not allowed to have a common experience anymore. In fact, common experience is seen as a weakness, even though the lack of having common experiences is why reactions are so muted. But Edge comes out and there's a common experience. We're all excited, we're all surprised, and we're all hopeful. And how did that feel when everybody got behind a thing? I'm trying to think of the last time I've heard a pop like that in wrestling, and it may have been when the glass broke for Stone Cold to come out to help Mick Foley during his fucking first world title win. I'm sure there have been ones since, don't get me wrong, but that's the one that just indelibly imprinted in my brain where it's just like everybody's fucking happy. And that should be your challenge, promotions. What's a common experience that you can create? I remember how I racked my brain to think of a heel that everybody could simultaneously hate. And thus Dwight Power was born. And then years later, when I was like, what's the one way that you can be a heel? And it came down to, what is the ultimate heel move? And I racked my brain and I racked my brain and I realized the only thing that truly made you an undeniable heel was disloyalty to PCW itself. That was the one thing the fans could rally behind. If they perceived that you were a willing outsider that was just there to fuck with PCW and not get with the vibe, they hated you. And so thus I created a whole entity that would do that. And one thing our fans were behind is they loved PCW in general, so I would take that away. What are you doing, promoters, bookers, wrestlers, managers, to create or attempt to have a common experience? I forgot a rant, so I'm going to get it in here because it actually dovetails nicely. Rants. The Simon Sermon promos building up his match, all fucking four of them, not only did they tell a story, moving up the chain more and more important until that last one felt like a fucking half shoot. Tremendous. And I guarantee you they fucking packed the house to see that goddamn match. Not only did he have the best fucking catchphrase so far, that was a dramatic pause. Deliberately. Long live the Queen. Fucking amazing. Simon Sermon, I'll just put it succinctly like this. I was going to do a reaction video to it, but I don't really have the tech savvy to show the video at the same time I'm watching it. Not yet. That's one of my goals for February. But it deserved this place in full disclosure for me to say this. It's the best promos anybody has done this year. He owns January. And until somebody does better, you're not going to... Simon Sermon's got the fucking... The queen wears the crown right now, folks. And Southern Honor has the best show of the year so far. You have to beat them. Because right now, I've seen promos by Doc Brock, and of course, Hankins has put together some videos that weren't really promos, but Simon Sermon's 4 promos are the best thing that's been done so far this year. Catch them if you can. But getting back to this idea of common experience, what are you doing to create a common experience? If you are a wrestler, can you be a heel or a face so powerful that the entire crowd either rallies behind you or rallies behind your opponent? Have you just given up the notion? Are you happy being a tweener heel or a cool heel? Is it because you don't have the balls to go for a common experience? I think we have given up too easily on this notion that, well, if you're really good at what you do, there's always going to be a segment that roots for you. How can you get around it? You can. The Empire was filled with talented wrestlers, the best manager in the game. I would argue 4 of the best 10 managers in Georgia were all in the same group. But people didn't fucking cheer the Empire. I didn't allow them to. I didn't want them to. I wanted the common experience that we got to have at Sacred Ground 3. Nobody's done a fucking show as good since. Nobody. It felt like a huge payoff. And when I decked Jeff G with the belt, when Mason raised both titles, unifying them and getting rid of the Empire for good, and I decked Jeff G and I celebrated, here's a challenge. Because everybody loves putting up pictures, but you know what I notice about most of the pictures when somebody's doing a cool move? The crowd doesn't give a shit. The crowd is sitting like this. Or worse, like this. That's the truth. How can you create a common experience of the crowd being engaged to the point where you can show me a picture of you doing something in the ring and the crowd is reacting to it? As powerful as Joe Black and William Huckabee was when you're watching that Falcon arrow through the windshield, as powerful or more powerful was that common experience they created where the entire crowd was into what they were doing and they wanted Joe to win and they wanted Huckabee to be punished. The power of the common experience. Now, people might say it's not possible anymore. We're too divided in terms of race or gender or class or whatever. It's not possible. There was a time where I would take it's not possible as a challenge, not as a fucking barrier. Or if I did see it as a barrier, it was a barrier that I was going to break through, go around, or go over. What are you going to do to create a common experience? A lot of people really felt when I talked about magic, and magic is really important. But more important than magic is the ability to create a common experience. Can you get it that everybody wants this wrestler to win and this wrestler to lose? Can you attain that challenge? Can you create the common experience of almost everybody feeling like, fuck, you guys are the best promotion, instead of just your homer crowd? That's why the awards matter so much, isn't it? Because it's the closest thing of getting a consensus and a common experience. Here's a final thought, and it's a reverse. So Royal Rumble has shown us that even in these lean times for the WWE and wrestling in many, many ways, that common experience is still very possible. Faces and heels are very possible. People want to cheer. People want to hate and boo. How are you going to get them to do it in the way that they should? Not me, no, you. Thanks, Elena. But here's my reversal. And this is me slapping the promotions in the face, especially the top promotions. You watched the Royal Rumble and fucking loved it. And I'm glad, as did I. You know why you were able to love it unabashedly? Some people will say, because you gotta be a fan. I saw that common lame sentiment. Oh, because you gotta be a fan of this shit. You want it, it's okay to be a fan. Yeah, that's fucking elementary fucking school. I want to go deeper. Here's the real reason that people could enjoy the Royal Rumble that are in the wrestling business. Get ready for the slap to the face. And it's the same reason that when somebody does something amazing, like Southern Honor doing the 1,000 last year, I don't recall a lot of other promoters and bookers and stuff that weren't affiliated with Southern Honor being happy about it. And I don't recall every single person who lost for the awards being happy for the person who won. They may have given at least some semblance of lip service to that effect, but it wasn't necessarily genuine, was it, most of the time? But we could all get together as wrestling people and look at that Royal Rumble and be really excited and happy for it. Why? Because you, promoters, bookers, and promotions in Georgia, are so far out of contention that you don't see the WWE as a peer or as competition that you're competing against. Because you're so far out of their fucking league. And you've already given up the notion that you're going to matter enough for the WWE to even notice you. Because you aren't competition. Because you don't strive to be better than them in any way, shape, or form, even though you could be better than them in almost every way outside of their ability to spend money. Your production, while it can't match theirs financially, you could certainly put together a wrestling show where you aren't missing major moments through editing and through the camera cuts, as the WWE did last night. They missed Edge's first fucking spear. You can do better. Can your wrestlers, or you as a wrestler, cut a better promo than the people in the WWE? I would hope you think you could and do it. Could you wrestle a better match? Could you have better angles? Could you have a more passionate fan base than they do? How many of you are trying to beat them instead of just be some minor version of them? When are you going to create common experiences for your audience that rival what they did last night or even surpass it? Are you even trying to surpass it? No, you're not. Fucking pussies. So go out there and do it. Instead of being the wrestler that looks at that screen and goes, I mean, part of me thinks that I'm better, but deep down, I know I'm not. Well, then fucking get there. What's it going to take? Are you going to have to work out harder? Are you going to have to find a way to engage a crowd emotionally better? Are you going to have to put out some fucking promos? Why is Adrian Armour having to tell you guys to fucking put out promos? I'm glad he's doing it, by the way. But you all should be fucking doing it. for the practice, if nothing else, but maybe it's because you know you're not good. And you certainly know you're not great. Well, fucking shed that mentality and start figuring out how to create this common experience. It's not going to happen with one promo or one match or one show. You're going to have to earn that. But if you've just given up in trying to compete with and surpass the WWE in every which way that you could, conceivably, then you ain't shit. And I'll tell your mama you ain't shit. That's the call to war. Not just with other promotions in your backyard and in the same state. God, don't you want to be the fucking best in any way that you can? And if you don't, get the fuck out of the way. You can tell in 2020 I have no patience for mediocrity. And you know what? You shouldn't either. That's the common experience that I want to create. Stop accepting mediocrity. This has been full fucking disclosure.